Hi, welcome to the SESP information session. My name is Valeria Pinzon and I am the program director for SESP. Let's get started. I will be sharing my screen right now. All right, welcome. Again, my name is Valeria Pinzon Mendez, and if you want to contact me to ask any questions, if you have any doubts about anything, comments, anything, please email me at vpinzonm@uvm.edu. So what is SESP? SESP stands for the Summer Enrichment Scholars Program. It is hosted by the Mosaic Center for Students of Color at the University of Vermont. The program has been an integral part of UVM since the mid-1980s, so it has been going on for a pretty long time. And one of the most recent changes was in the early 2000s when the program changed the name specifically from scholarship to scholars. So before it used to be the Summer Enrichment Scholarship Program, and now it's the Summer Enrichment Scholars Program. And we thought that this was important because we wanted to really highlight the academic rigor of our participants and of the program itself. You as a participant have already been accepted into UVM because you have good grades, because your essay showed it, because we thought that you would be an amazing part of the UVM community. And the same goes to SESP. Everyone who is part of SESP is an incoming first year student, and there's not necessarily anything scholarship about this. It's really you are a scholar and you're beginning to be a scholar at the University of Vermont through SESP. Who is eligible for SESP? Incoming UVM first year students, students who identify as a person of color, those who identify as first generation students, and students from low and income limited families. So if you qualify under any of this, you will be able to apply to the program. You do not have to have every single one of these identities in order to apply to the program. If you have any doubts and you're like, I'm not sure if I qualify or not, email me. I'd be happy to talk about it with you and hopefully to send you over to the application. There is no cost for participating in this program. Many of the things that you'll be doing, like the 3-credit college class, all the swag that you'll be getting from us, as well as the workshops and all the things that you'll be part of, have no cost to you. And if you want to learn more about the program, hopefully you've already seen this website, uvm.edu/mcsc/SESP, and you'll have more details on that website. This presentation will be on that website. So program details. The SESP will be happening from June 30th to July 30th, so approximately a month. All of you participants will be enrolling in a 3-credit online course at UVM from July 6th to July 30th. And you may be thinking, why does the program start on June 30th and my class only starts until July 6th? So one of the reasons is because between June 30th and July 6th, first of all, there is Independence Day weekend, and many of you will be with your families. You will not have to do anything SESP related. And we want to give you time to enjoy that weekend, enjoy July, the summer, and your family. And before that, we want to give you a little rundown of how does an online class even happen, right? And where are you in terms of SESP? Who are your peers? Who are the people that you can reach out to? My team is myself as program director, but also my coordinators. So you'll be able to meet the coordinators who are current UVM students and really just be able to locate yourself in the program and in the course so that on July 6th, you're ready to go with that course and you understand what's happening. So that's why the program starts in June 30th. And throughout that month, all the way from June 30th to July 30th, there's going to be information sessions that you'll be able to be a part of. Many of those will be from identity centers. The Mosaic Center is part of an identity, or is one of the identity centers. Another identity center is the PRISM Center, which is the LGBTQA Resources Center. We have also the Interfaith Center, and we have the Women and Gender Equity Center. Aside from that, we also have other centers like the Career Center. We have advising services for each of the colleges, counseling services, student life, living well, many of these campus resources, which you'll be able to not only learn more about them, but also learn who works there so that when you do reach out, you're like, oh yes, I met this person, I know that name, or at least I've heard about this person. because I was part of SESP, and you feel more comfortable reaching out to you and utilizing these resources, which at the end of the day, as you start UVM, all of these things you have paid for with your tuition money, with your comprehensive fee, all of those fees that you pay is so that these resources can happen, so that SESP can happen. Everything at UVM is meant for you to use, to utilize, and to get like the best use out of it. So we want to make you aware of all of that so that you can do exactly that, use it. Other things that will be happening during that month will be workshops that will focus on your leadership development, how to get involved on campus. So that means what are the clubs on campus? What does it look like to be the treasurer of a club? What does it look like to be the president of a club? What does it look like to just be a member of one of the student clubs? You'll be meeting students, current students who have been part of those clubs, who maybe last year were a president, who maybe this year are about to be a vice president or a program coordinator, and you'll just get to learn from some of the experiences that they share. And you also learn and try to see how being part of those experiences, being part of leadership experiences on campus beyond clubs, you could be a resident advisor, you could be peer mentor in one of the colleges. The career center also has peer mentors. So there's a lot of ways for you to get involved and to engage in leadership development. And we want you to know that there's all these opportunities, and also how do you translate those opportunities into your career field, right? Like what are those leadership skills, like communication, presentation skills, learning how to engage with others and create relationships with like important stakeholders within campus, or if you're in your field, within your coworkers or within the company that you're working for. So you'll learn more about that and really just explore who you are as a leader and how you show up in front of people. Other workshops that we'll be doing will be focusing a little bit more on your identity. UVM is a predominantly white institution. Vermont is the second whitest state in the whole United States. So for some of you, that may be not news, or for some of you, you may already be used to being in a town or in a school that's predominantly white. Maybe some of you are white yourselves. But others of you, I imagine, are students of color or are people of color like myself, and coming to a campus that's predominantly white, coming to a town that's predominantly white, may be a little bit of a culture shock, right? And so we want you to know what that's like. What is campus culture like? What does it mean to create community on campus within the Mosaic Center for Students of Color, where I work, and beyond the Mosaic Centers for Students of Color? You are part of UVM, and we want you to know where at UVM you can feel the most comfortable, where you can explore, and where you can find some of the things that are most valuable to you. And beyond that, what is like the most important things to you, like your dorm, the dining halls, where do you go to study, what do people do on the weekends? And that's something that I may not be able to answer because I haven't been a student at UVM for 3 years, and I'm sure a lot of things have changed. But we will have the coordinators who are current students and other current students who will be doing workshops and presentations, and you'll be able to ask them like, hey, question, right? Like any question that you have, you'll be able to ask our current students, and they'll be able to really tell you kind of like the nitty gritty of what is UVM and how does UVM do their things. Other events that we want to do are going to be more like the social side, games and activities, so that you get to meet your peers. So like I've said before, you're going to meet staff members, you're going to meet faculty members, and you're going to meet current students, but we want you also to meet your peers, your SESP peers. I myself was a student in SESP when I was coming into UVM, and some of my greatest friends who I still talk to every day, I travel with every day, are from SESP. And of course, it is different, right? Like you're looking at me through a computer, you will be doing SESP through a computer. And I can't lie to you and say that everything's going to be the same as if you were in person, because it is not. However, myself and my team of coordinators are like the most creative and are trying to engage you in ways so that you can really learn who your peers are, and you can really start to develop some of those relationships. We will really try our best for you to feel like there is some sort of cohort, and that there is someone that you can reach out to aside from me and the coordinators, but that you actually have a friend in SESP. So right now I'm going to show you what the weekly schedule or one of the weeks in SESP last year looked like. This is not going to be your week, so don't get attached to any of this because this is from last year, but I just want you to show you an example of what it's going to be like for you in this summer. So as you can see, some days have like one thing, like on Monday, you just have one coffee with Isoda Litko, who was a person in the new student program in an orientation office. But then if you see on Saturday, you have two sessions. One of them is first year student experience identity development workshop. And then the other two are actually just the same session done twice for people who can come at 12 or who can come at 2 p.m. So those are one of the same session. This year, we will actually not be doing any Saturday and Sunday workshops. All of your workshops and SESP related things will be done from Monday through Friday. So that's one of the changes from SESP 2020. Other than that, I really just want you to see what were some of the things that were done last year and some of the things that will probably be repeated this year, like getting to know staff members. As I said, Isoda on Monday was a staff member in the new student program in an orientation office. On Thursday at 12, you can see Jerome Budomo. He's actually part of student life. So these are people that you could just have a nice conversation with. Coffee with is meant to be informal, is meant to be just like, who are you, how are you? But these are people that could really show you what is UVM like from the inside, right? Like what are some of those clubs, what are some of those events, because they are the ones that get to plan them, and you could even be part of some of that planning if you really want to get involved in that specifically. On Tuesday, for example, you can see Ria Paducone doing a workshop on mental health, and below that, Mallory McFarland doing a workshop on study skills. Both of them are current students. They're actually seniors and about to graduate in about 2 weeks. And both people that you could probably ask very different questions to, like what are dorms like, or what were your majors, and how did you choose your majors, or how do you get involved on campus, or whatever it is, as well as learn from the workshops that they themselves are coordinating. So you can see that there's a variety of things that we do so that you get to learn from people, from services, and from current students. So that was a little bit of the day-to-day schedule. Now to classes, which you must have seen that Monday through Thursday, there was a specific time that we allotted for you to be in a class or in your classes specifically. I want to say that the classes are through UVM, so I myself don't get to choose how your class happens or what the schedule for the class is, or your test or your quizzes, essays, whatever it is that the class is doing. That is all with the professor themselves. They are UVM professors, and they are, they're in control of their class. However, I get to choose which classes you all can take. So these are the options that I will be providing to you. You can read them right there on the little table. And to this table, you can add English 001 as another option of a class that you'll be able to take. Some of these professors will ask you to meet Monday through Thursday on the computer online at a specific time. And other professors will be more lax about it. Maybe they'll ask you to meet once a week on the computer to just ask some questions, maybe do a presentation. And other professors will be at the other end of the spectrum, and your class will be completely remote, completely online, and all the work will just be done through Blackboard, which is the platform that we use for all of your classes. So it may range in between professor and class to class. What I do want to say is that these classes, I specifically wanted to give us options to all of you because some of these may cover some of your requirements. So for example, if you're an English major or a sociology major, you may just have to take one math class. And right here is Math 10, QR, pre-calculus mathematics. Maybe that's all you need. Then you don't have to take any math classes for the rest of UVM, and you've already checked the requirement for math and for QR, which are qualitative resources at UVM. You're done with that specific requirement in your transcript. However, maybe you're a math major, maybe you're an engineering major, chemistry, biology, where you know that you're going to be taking and have to take a specific courses of calculus and of other maths at UVM, and you're like, okay, well, that class doesn't necessarily cover much for me, but what could cover is English, because you do need to do an English requirement, most likely. And there you go. SESP can be that one bridge program that will allow you to check off that requirement for your college course, like English. Or Arts 95 could cover one of your humanities requirements. So all of these classes to some degree will cover one of your requirements, or even they could just be electives. Many times you're like, none of these classes necessarily cover a requirement for me. However, if I'm a nursing major, if I'm an engineering major, your classes and your schedule is very set and is very strict in terms of what you need to take in order to finish in 4 years and what the advancement is from class to class. So sometimes I have many of the students that I advise that they're like, yeah, I just do not have space for an elective. Like, it's very much, I take what I need to take in order to move on with my major, which makes sense. You need, that is what you're here UVM for, right? To finish that major that you so want. But maybe SESP can be that one breather for you. Like, let me take a fun class before I start my major when I know I'm not going to have time to take any class that I want. So if you have any questions about which class to choose, which class fits better with your major, maybe you're undecided major and you're like, I don't even know what to start taking, message me, email me. We can really talk one-to-one and figure out which class could be best for you, for your schedule, and for the requirements that you have for your college. For those of you who are applying and who are accepted into SESP, you will be hearing more from me, specifically to learn more about you and other information that I want from you. And additionally, what class you'll be taking. This is when you'll get to choose your course once you get accepted into SESP. And once I have all of this information and I know more about you, myself and the coordinators, my team, will be working to make that month schedule and send it out to you mid-June so that you know what your July SESP schedule looks like, and you can kind of like plan around it, time manage everything that you're doing. You can see which weeks are going to be busier, which other weeks are not going to be as busy, and you could really be completely engaged in SESP. I wanted to show you some past student perspective of the cohort of 2020 who also did SESP online and who wanted to share some of their thoughts.
Hi everyone, my name is Elias Adler. I use he, him pronouns, and I was part of the SESP cohort 2020. SESP was an excellent opportunity for me to really get engaged with the UVM community before I even got here, which was incredible. It means I wasn't walking in blind, and I knew I had some connections that I could go to for support at the beginning before I had time to really make my own. What I really learned about in this program was all the opportunities that UVM has for additional support, mental health, academic help, anything like that. And that made me a lot more confident in my abilities as a student and as a learner and as a person here on campus. I also met a bunch of really excellent people in the program. I'm still in communication with a lot of them, and they're really, really great. It was an excellent opportunity to bond with people and to make connections that I know are going to last me and be useful to me throughout the course of UVM and beyond. So I hope you enjoy it.
All right, that's one of them. And then one more that I wanted to show you.
Hi everyone, my name is Adolfo Copen. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a part of the SESP 2020 cohort. And I'm so excited for you because this is such a great program that really lets you get ahead and used to the college experience. Taking a summer class really helped ease my transition into the fall semester, which I know is really overwhelming for a lot of people. But I went into my first semester of college with a lot of knowledge of the resources available both on campus and remotely, and with skills on how to be a good college student, like how to handle time management, for example. And I also know a lot of people go into college feeling lonely or out of place, but what's great with SESP is that you really get to connect with your peers and UVM staff before you even get to go on campus, which is awesome. And with that being said, I am so excited for you all, and I hope you guys take advantage of this amazing opportunity.
All right. Okay, this is the part of our questions, and I came up with some questions on my own because we had some of these questions last year. So what ifs? What if I have a job, which is very real? Myself, when I was incoming to UVM to college, I took full advantage of that summer. I was part of SESP, but between coming to SESP and after SESP, I maintained a full-time job to make some extra money. And you may be thinking the same. And SESP now it's online, so you get to stay home. You get to stay where your job is at, right? And so what I will say to you is please communicate with me if this is the case, because we want you to be part of SESP. However, we don't want SESP to fall by the wayside. You will be taking a 3 college credit class, and I do not want you to be behind or to get a bad grade in that class because you didn't have enough time to complete your assignments. It is a real college class. It will go in your transcript, and your final grade will be on your transcript. And I certainly want that grade to be a high grade so that it could be a boost into UVM. So if you do have a job, it's not a big deal. Last year, students had a job, and many of them, what they did is that they transferred most of their hours to Saturday and Sunday, and then they would work maybe a couple of afternoons during the week or a couple of mornings during the week, and they tried to have most of the weekdays available. And I know that that can be really hard for some of you. Maybe some of you have really set schedules or you really need that money. So please talk to me. We can figure out some time management and some ways so that you really are taking full advantage of SESP and so that you're also having enough time to work on your class. I also will say that it is from June 30th to July 30th. So it's really just a month that you'll be trying to do something else that will help you in your UVM future, will contribute to the way that you succeed in college, and will be so much more worth it to have this experience, to meet people, to be more involved in the campus, and to really have a step up into UVM. What if your family's planning a vacation during SESP? Also very real. It's the summer. I hope that you get to enjoy yourself, if that's a possibility for you and if that's something that your family is planning. And if so, again, let me know. Communication is the best thing and foremost thing that you can do with the SESP program. And honestly, for the rest of your college career, communicate with your professors, communicate with your dean, and everything will pretty much go pretty smoothly. So if you do have a planned vacation planned out for specifically July, which is when SESP is happening, let me know. If we know which week or which days you're going to be out of SESP, like out of kind of like cell phone range, we could really plan with your professor so that you're not falling behind in class. And we'll also know that you won't be part of this or this other program and which ways that you want to make it up, or a recorded session so that you can watch it later, or just different ways in which you can talk with the coordinators in order for you to feel caught up and good once you come back from vacation. We don't want to punish you from being on vacation, but we also don't want you to arrive back into like SESP online and be so behind that you feel overwhelmed with work. So just let me know if that's something that is already planned out in your family. I also understand that your family may come up with a vacation on the whim. That's actually how my family works. Sometimes there's not much planning. We're just like, next week we're going to go. And if that is the case, again, just let me know. As soon as you're like, oh, my family's thinking of going, I'm going to ask Valeria so that Valeria knows what's going on. And then we can really start to plan so you're not falling behind, especially in your class. It is the most important thing that your professor knows, and that you know the work that you need to make up or that you need to work on, even if you're on vacation, because you will be part of a class. What if your internet is shaky or you don't have a private computer? This is something that the Mosaic Center for Students of Color can help with, to provide some sort of financial support or any other type of support so that you feel that you have all the necessary things to attend SESP. We certainly want to dissolve any types of barriers that would prevent you from being in SESP. And if this is a concern for you, again, please let me know, and I will do everything that's in my power in order to make it so that you are part of SESP, and especially if it's an internet that's shaky with the connection or you don't have a private computer. And last question, what if you're in Burlington? So I know myself, I'm vaccinated. A lot of people at UVM have been getting vaccinated. Vermont itself has a really high rate of vaccination among their adults. So many of you who are in the, not just the Burlington area, but surrounding South Burlington, Williston, Winooski, and you may be thinking like, wow, I would really like to meet other cohort mates if they're also from the area. That is not a decision that I can make right now, but I just want you to know that I'm definitely thinking about it. We continue to follow UVM and Vermont guidelines. And as things progress and as restrictions become less and less limiting, this could be a potential event or just a potential something for July. So definitely I will keep you up with any type of changes if that's something that will happen. But for those of you who are from the local area, I think it would be really, really hopeful and awesome for you to meet each other and maybe to meet myself and the coordinators if they're on campus, if they're in the area. So definitely keep it in your radar. Again, it's not something that I can really promise right now. We're still developing new ways in which we're socializing this summer, but I definitely am a very positive person, and I hope that for July we can actually maybe meet each other. This is it from me. Apply SESP for SESP at go.uvm.edu/SESP app. The deadline has been extended to this Friday, May 14th. And I just want to point out that the most important part for this application is the essay question. The questions before that are a lot about who you are and your demographics, and we just want to know like who is applying, obviously like your name and email and things like that. And then the last question is this essay question. So we just have these 3 questions to guide your essay, guide your narrative. But really the most important thing that we want to hear from you is just who you are. Like tell us what makes you you, what makes your family who they are, what is your history, what has happened that you think it's important for us to know that has made it so much more important for you to be at UVM and for you to participate in SESP. So choose one of these questions, one of these prompts, and just write effectively who you are so that we can get a glimpse into who this person is that is applying. I really recommend that you use Word so that your grammatical errors and all grammatical things are fixed, and also so that your syntax flows much more better. If you're typing into the application itself, it most likely will not correct anything. And so I really recommend that you go on Word, type it out, and then paste it over to the SESP application. The limit of words is 600 words. So I'm really asking for like a nice 3-paragraph answer that shows me who you are as a person. Okay. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. My contact information is vpinzonm@uvm.edu. Thank you.